Hey guys, and welcome back. This is Pete Dogger. I'm building the Mears Models F86. Now what I'm showing you here is I'm actually prepping this edge for the sheeting. And how I do this is I just come in to get this look right here is what I'm looking for. And it actually is very simple to do. And you're going to use some a little duster, sorry about that. But anyway, to do this, you're going to get some 1/4 by 3/8 balsa, and you're going to put them in like so. Now I sanded this one so I can show you what the end result is, and it's right here. There's a little bit more sanding to go, but it's pretty critical that you get that straight and prepped. This makes it for a really good leading edge. Now you're going to notice that there's a little bit of a straight edge on this, and you want to just go basically knife edge in. And the reason that I'm doing it this way is because this gives you a lot of gluing surface for the leading edge. And then when it's done, I will simply just cut some cap. Once it's over and done here, I will actually just cap it with some 3/32 over that. And then once this sits in here, as you can see, it gives you a lot of gluing area, and it'll go. Now I'll true all this up before I do it. It'll all look like this, and then these parts fit beautifully on there. It makes the sheeting go a lot easier. You get a little better. I run a little wild up here. This will get trimmed. This will get a cap put on it, and it actually goes, and it actually kind of rolls over the top. I'll draw it out a little later in this, but you should look like that. Now down here on this side, I don't like to sheet this so much in here. The reason being for it is because it doesn't fucker. But anyway, the reason I don't like to sheet this area in here, I'll laminate this in here to make this work, is because this it's really hard to get it to fold over, and we're glassing it. You'll never see it, but I don't like to use fillers when I do this. So anyway, I will sand this to shape completely down. When I do this, I will go ahead and form this, and then this piece here will come over and it'll just simply blend into this, and then I'll put a cap on it or whatever I got to do to it to get this to look really good. It'll look like one big piece of wood, which is what you're doing. Now, a lot of guys have asked me about what I intend to do here. Well, I'm going to cut this off. I'm going to come in, I'm going to cut it off in here and then back in here and glue that into here. And these two places, these two 1-inch pieces are going to run directly with this. And then I will actually sheet this back edge up here. And these get sheeted as well, guys, on the end there, and then they just get rounded off. But anyway, I'll put these in here, and if I have to add a little bit in this, then I will, like this, just to get this to all be whatever. Now, in the back, when we get all this stuff in here completely put in, then this will all be just one piece. There'll be some blocks in there for the hinges, of course. The servo goes in here. Well, actually it goes down in this one. It'll sit right in here, and the linkage and wire will come right. Well, the link dust. Shit. Sorry about that, guys. But anyway, as you can see, we're going to be putting the servo in here. And in order to do that, I'm going to take and actually make the deal, then I'll put the cover inside it after I make this frame, because I'll make the servo actually stick to the door. Makes it easier to get out, and then it goes through this hole right here, and the wires come through there. Then we need to high saw these in and get all this all done and glued in place where it's going to be permanently. Same thing will happen with these. Now what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to go ahead and start doing the same thing, but I'm going to do it on the leading edge here. But in order to do that, I left this wild in here for a reason, because in order to do this, it needs to be matched up. So, because that'll look like the actual, this particular model, the whole entire thing didn't move on this particular one. But on the J models and the newer ones, the whole entire elevator moved. And this is not there. And it's also, on the J model, is a different keel for the, on this particular part of the plane is there, and it's actually a sharper point on the J model. And it also had a big old gizmo on the back here where A models did not have that, and that's what I'm building. So if you look at, there's a lot of pictures and things you need to be looking at. It's just kind of one of these deals where you just got to kind of look at things and just work at them and just keep plugging. And I do these and kind of stagger them around. I sanded this one out just so you can see what this should look at. It should look pretty close to this when you get ready to do it, and you'll start to see it'll start taking the shape where it needs to be. But this will keep, when you clamp this, it'll give you something to be able to clamp to or pin to. And plywood's just kind of a nightmare. And really, as far as weight goes, guys, it's really not that much material when you look in here. Now, I'll be showing you guys a little bit about the counterweight, which is right here, and it just sits right in here. It's only an inch long, and that goes in here and that gets built in. So I will take and actually be building a 1/4 inch piece that comes in through here all the way back, and that will actually be the hinge block up in the top as well. There will be a hinge here, but it'll also be one full piece that comes right down in here, and that will be sanded in to shape, and then the counterweight will be right in here, and it will actually shoot straight, and it'll move with the rest of the rudder when that's ready to be built. And there's also a cap that needs to be built up here, and you need to build that in. And I'm going to just build that out a 1/4 inch as well. And that'll glue it right onto this and be part of it. And then we'll sand that to shape, and we'll sheet it. And we'll run it, make it fairly good long so that it can be blended into the rest of the top up there. There will be blocks installed in here. And I'm just going to laminate 1/4 inch, put it in here, 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 and here, 4 hinges. And then when we sheet it, we'll sheet it over here approximately, it'll be about, probably close to 1/8 of an inch over that, and it'll hide this gap in here. I'm using G10 hinges on parts on this, but I'll be using Ropard hinges for the main part of it, just to get it to where it is actually moving correctly. And they will actually sit back in here a ways. So we want to build this up to where these blocks are going to accept the hinges, and we can actually go through and get it. So that's where I'm at now, is beefing this up. But I think one of the big things is you don't want to overbuild it. But, you're going to start getting heavy if you do a lot. But there's some parts that need to be absolutely necessary when you do it. So, and to get some scale appearances that are actually in there, you want to be making parts that are going to actually work. So anyway, I'll be back in a little bit, and I'll show you what this looks like after it's done, and we'll be doing pretty much the same thing in the back here. We're going to be using a lot of 1/4 inch material, and we're going to be adding hinge blocks and all kinds of stuff in here. So stay tuned, guys. And also, yes, this one will get the hinges put back in here. This will be a box built in here for the hinges, so, or the servos, excuse me. But anyway, I'll be back in a little bit to show you what we're going to do. We're going to start running some wires and start getting some other things going, and we're just going to keep on building. So thanks for watching.